Okay, guys, welcome back. Flow TV channel, Thinking Outside the Box. I love this show because this show is mushroom,
Exactly.
mind blowing, and all that. And I got my favorite person here.
Hey,
Matthew.
I made it to the favorites list.
Yes,
Yeah.
favorite. He made it to the number one top. I would say philosopher right now, and I was thinking outside the box. So me and Matthew was talking to you a while back, and I told him that I wanted to bring this conversation out here for you guys to listen because it's something to think about, and that's what thinking outside the box is all about. It's for you to step outside your box and look at something in a broader prospect of, instead of what you've been told, what you've been trained. Because remember that the system is out to box you. It's not for you to expand your mind, so it's out to box you. So you need to expand your mind. You have to conversate and listen to other people that are doing the same thing. So, Matthew,
So,
the question is,
well, let me set up.
there is yes, it's
Right.
should have stopped.
So we were talking about like the current situation that's going on in the world, and I heard Gene said, because they are doing this, right? They set up a system so that it's difficult for us to not only know our freedom, but also right now, right? They have set it up in such a way where we're all isolated, and it's harder for us to get together. And what I said to him was pretty simple. There is no they.
Right. And I asked them, I thought that maybe it's not they, that what I would consider they, which is the hidden hand, the behind the shadows, swamp, the deep swamp they call in government. I was thinking, well, okay, they're not they because they are a small minority compared to the whole population. So then in terms, he enlightened me by saying,
No, because I'm not even talking about that. I'm like, this is so far beyond that. It's the reality that we're one organism. That all life is one life form. It's called life. And we are that, and every other human being or reptilian or secret shadow organization, you can't escape the fundamental truth of we are all the same being. So therefore, there is no they. There's only we. And as we step into it, there's only I. Because I am all of this organism, just like all of it is me. Like there's no separation. It becomes such a fundamental thing that now I'm looking at the whole of the world in a different way. Because if we are all one organism, even those parts of me that were self-destructive in nature have served me. Right? Because I had my own self-destructive thoughts. I had my own self-destructive habits. I had my own self-destructive words. And through experiencing those, I learned how to be myself. How to choose what it is that I actually want to think, what I want to feel, what I want to say, how I want to act. If it wasn't for the unpleasantness of speaking lies, I really wouldn't know the value of the truth the way that I do. Right? And whether we want to see it or not, when we create a they, because they is a false notion, it's so that we could play victim to something we can't control. Right? Why we keep on throwing out that nonsense of like they're doing this to us is because we're saying, oh, I'm so powerless.
right,
They're rich and they have all the resources and it's not fair because all the loving people just get hammered on. Nah, bruh. Nah. When it's we are doing this to ourselves, we are building a mind control system. Literally. The elite haven't put a hand on any of the technology. We built it all. But we want to blame them for it. Come on.
that's true too. That is true.
The dope part is the moment that it does become we become accountable. We become responsible. Because when it becomes we did this, then the question is, do we want to continue? Which a victim never gets that choice.
Yeah.
A victim has to stop them from doing it before I'll ever be free to make a choice. I have to get rid of all the victimizers. I have to put them in cages or shoot them in the head. Is that what you're thinking? How far has that gotten us now? How about we try some forgiveness? How about we try some, you know what? That sucked, but I grew, and thank you. Your services are no longer required. You can heal if you want. If not, you can, head out with your ghost ships and stuff. I'm cool with that. Just, love reigns here, so probably not going to be the best vacation spot for you.
So compliance, and it's not compliance actually. So it's saying that, which from what I'm getting is that you're saying that we are the structure, we are the government, we are the people, we are the government. We are. It's up to. It's just we're complying to it because it makes sense what you says, because if you're looking at it, who's doing it to ourselves? We're doing it to ourselves then.
I mean, has there ever been another option in truth? Has there ever been a time, really, if you get honest with yourself, anyone was able to make you do anything?
No.
Because you're a sovereign individual.
Right.
Like, I can pressure you.
We're usually told.
Yes.
Or we were raised, and
yes.
When you were born, they told you, listen to the teacher, listen to the government, listen to this, and we never questioned because we weren't allowed to question also.
All right, don't play a victim to that though, right?
Yes,
yes, I was conditioned to believe this.
Right.
There is a step between childhood and manhood where you say, yes, I was conditioned to believe that as a child, to think that as a child, but I now think for myself. I now choose for myself. I believe what I want to believe. Yes, my childhood beliefs were like this, but like a child, you put them away like they're toys. Yeah, at one point I did believe, in the oppression of the blacks, like my people. I believe that it was viciously wrong that we were enslaved and in reparations and, the Black Power movement and Black America. I was like into it. The Tupac and, I was raised in the hood. So most of my roots was around the forging of the hip hop identity. But at a certain stage, I recognized that was just a cage, man. If you cut this skin away, I bleed red just like him, just like any Chinese person. It's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Anything that has you see anyone as different than you are is a trap. It's a trap because we are all one person. And when we can see it that way, then the way forward becomes obvious. If we are one organism, there's only one thing to do. Love everything, heal everything, give everything support and time and space to heal, and let them know that they're not alone, and then start cleaning up the mess we made. It's really not that much more difficult than that. What it will take is for us to really recognize that living based on separation and fear is suicidal. So let's not do that.
So in that terms, you're saying that the normal reaction that people are reacting, which is out of the fear base or poor me base, it's never going to work.
A victim can't change anything. How could they? If they did, then they wouldn't be a victim anymore, and the freaking stars would fall out of the sky or something.
So they have to. The people have to come to grips to say no.
100%.
I'm not complying to that. I don't consent to that. So consentment is actually the best thing.
That's the only way that rulership happens. It's rulership through consent.
Right.
Like, it's not possible to govern a human being. You have to get that. We are autonomous. I make my own choices. Laws don't change anything, obviously. How many times did you speed this week? You choose your own life, and you always have. You don't have another option. There is no other option. We are fundamentally governing. So that means because we're supreme authority, the only way that we can actually pretend like there is a leader, like there is a doctor who knows better how to keep you healthy than you do.
You have to consent.
You have to consent. You have to debase yourself by saying this person knows better than me about me.
Makes sense.
Which is just kind of an
Because
absurd thought.
they don't force it to you.
No.
The doctor never comes and say, hey, the doctor comes and say, hey, I'm the greatest doctor, but it's up to you to consent to believe in that.
There's no medical care without
Very
consent.
powerful. Very powerful.
These things are so obvious that we don't even see them. Truth is like that. It's like an ocean that we swim in. You ever tried to explain water to a fish?
So, big question, big topic, with the direction we're going. So, and recently things of that has been happening. So you're saying that is marching is not it's a victimization.
Of course it is. You're resisting against a pressure and you're responding to their narrative. There is only one way. Stop participating in the world that you are judging and don't enjoy, and start literally only thinking about the world you want to live in and the world you're going to create. Exclusively. Period. There is no point. There is no point. Just get it this way. It's like we were talking about with the venue, right? We were in a venue for this artist freestyle, and
it's the artist, the artist outlet.
The artist outlet, right? And we go into the spot, and it's a heavy hitting rap and hip hop bar, basically, and the crowd was appropriate to that. But we were trying to put on kind of an elegant, refined, and positive show.
Yes, we did.
So we were going in there trying to bring a vibe and an energy into a location that did not want that. So there was a clash and a confrontation in it. I mean, it was all fun and we did our thing, so it was perfectly fine. But the point is, if we would have found a venue that wanted what we were creating, entirely different experience, and you have harmony, right? Understand that the current system is not broken. It is built to work the way that it works.
Okay.
It can't be fixed because there's nothing wrong with it. We designed this thing to eat everything for the sake of money. That's how we made it. We put profit in front of everything.
Yeah, that's a corporation rule. Profit over.
We are corporations. We made up those rules. And I mean that literally. Every single document, all of this game called money in America. At the end of the paper, there was a human being just like you saying, let's try it this way and see what happens. We made all of this up and we pretend, oh, God made money. God did not do anything. God made fruit and like fish and grass and grain.
Exactly.
We did all of this to ourselves, and now we want to blame it on like some of ourselves, but not like take responsibility ourselves. And I know it's scary. I mean, I'm making light out of it, but it's tough, but it's worth it.
But that would be the best change for humanity right now. If we start seeing each other as one and start taking responsibility for the actions that's going on, and like simple stuff. Not complying. Stop devoting your time in the negative and going to march and protest against, and start devoting your time to things that's more positive. You know, family, neighbors, get to know your neighbors. You know what I'm saying, helping one another and all of that stuff, and not complying, not listening to the crowd because they can't force you. Like I totally agree with what you said earlier. We are corporate, so we are autonomous. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's one of the things that greatest message to get out there to you guys. So, Matthew, again,
let me hit that real quick.
Hit it up.
1 second. If you want something to do right now, the very first place to start is in your mind.
True.
Free your mind, and the rest will follow.
There's a song like that.
Free your mind, don't be so shallow. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Teach us 80s. No, but the notion, Buddha wisdom, right? Like little cookie cutters. If someone can define what is getting real estate in your mind, They've just written the whole geography of your life. So the first place you start to create sovereignty is you say, these are the thoughts that I'm going to actually invest in. These are the beliefs that I'm going to actually hold. Take the time to recognize that the beliefs that you got as a child, I don't care if they came from your mom or from some religious text or from, 50 years of study in law school, that they are worthy of questioning and evaluation. They're worthy of your scrutiny. If they're real beliefs, they'll stand up to it.
Nice.
But what happens at the end of that, even if it turns out that a belief is inappropriate and you put in a new belief, right? It has your signature on it. I did this. My mom didn't give me this belief. The president didn't give me this belief. Atlas didn't give me this belief. Matthew didn't give me this belief. This is my belief.
Yep.
Right or wrong, it starts creating confidence in your own sovereignty in your mind. The one place you can absolutely control. And then it also, just to be responsible, it also requires you to take control of what you're putting in your mind, what you're choosing to look at, what you're choosing to hear, what you're choosing to say, because all of those influence the mind. When you get sovereign here, when everything that's in your mind is that these are my thoughts, these are my feelings, these are my values, this is my beliefs, then it becomes this is my life. Chosen and signature all over it, then you're actually a sovereign being. It's actually very direct, and if you need some help with it, holla at a Mindscaper. That's what I do.
Nice. All right, guys. So let them know where they can get you again. Your IG.
You IG Mindscaper 8. You Facebook Matthew Ewing, and then YouTube Ewing Matthew 8. I think that's it. I'm gonna have a Discord set up shortly. Oh, Rumble as well. Savage Light there.
Savage Light there, and don't forget right here at Thinking Outside the Box and Flow TV channel. So we'll see you on the next episode. See you next time. Peace.